So what's the main reason why technical people hate sales? I think it's because they believe that selling means manipulation, means actively avoiding information, hiding the truth, convincing people about something which ultimately is doing them a disservice if they would get to believe in that. And fundamentally, it's really a wrong understanding of the concept. It's a flawed understanding of the concept of sales. For me, selling is helping. Selling is caring. Selling is allowing the other to understand how I might be of service for them. Because if you think about it, the reason why someone hires us as technologists inside organizations is so that we help them, right? Of course, they hire us for our skills, but what do they care about the most? Do they care about our skills? Only indirectly. Directly, they couldn't care less. Indirectly, however, yes, because those skills, when put in practice, deliver results which have positive consequences of the growth or stability of the organizations. So it's just a matter of reframing, right? Selling is not an act of being dishonest. Selling is not a matter of convincing people about stuff which is not true. Selling is a transfer of belief over a bridge of trust. This is a definition that I heard at some point, and I really loved it. A transfer of belief over a bridge of trust. What does it mean? Well, if you genuinely believe in something deeply, and you know that that thing can help others, like your technical skills, right? You know that developing an application can help someone get some positive returns out of that, right? If they implement your logic, then you get customers or clients, people, right, to interact with it, and there is some positive outcome out of that. So if you know that you possess information which is helpful for others, not making the best you can to convey that information in a way that is understandable to them, not doing that is not taking responsibility for helping others. It's a moral obligation to help, in my opinion, as a human being in general, right? Irrespective of you being a technology person or not. Helping others with what you know is a moral responsibility. If that knowing happens to be something in a professional space, so be it. But how do you make sure that people can get the most out of what you are capable of offering? By you doing your things in your corner, not caring about how that work is actually beneficial to your organization, to your colleagues, to your manager, and so on. If you believe genuinely that you can help, then you have a moral obligation to advertise that to others and help them see it. Show it. Find ways, sometimes maybe creative ways, of helping them understand. Don't be arrogant. Don't assume that everyone has to already know what you're capable of because you're the greatest. No one really cares about you directly as such. Everyone is thinking about themselves. Everyone is self-centered. And when you realize that, something will open up for you in a real way, because you will get to not take things personally anymore. The fear that you now have of exposing your knowledge for criticism is you being scared of being rejected, right? You not explaining what you know to someone in creative ways, in ways that can facilitate their understanding. You not doing that is because you are scared. You are afraid of, first of all, investing energy and time into communicating ideas that you know you cannot articulate in a way that can be understood by everyone, which is a problem in itself. And an easy way out of not having to make yourself as useful as you can. Because those technical skills are anyway perishable. In 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, maybe even 6 months at the current pace, they will become more or less irrelevant. What will stay is people's need to get help from others. And for me, this is a lesson that I am still learning today. But it's a very important lesson for me. It doesn't matter what I know or how much of an expert I am if it's not clear how that expertise is solving someone else's problem. Because if I only focus about the technology and my abilities to implement whatever, has zero value for someone who doesn't see the benefit of me doing that for them. And maybe it's a subtle reframe for some of you, but being in consulting now for 7 years and having to start selling myself for 7 years now, I realized that if at the beginning I thought, okay, this is bad, I don't want to do it, who am I to have to sell myself? I thought that it's not it's not justified. I'm not justified to take the floor and expose myself and my knowledge to others because I'm not special, I'm not good enough, I might not know everything that I should know in the universe for others to give me their time. Now I realize that it was all about being self-centered. It was all about me being afraid of stuff, being afraid of being seen in a certain way, being afraid of not being perfect, right? But from that, I had to evolve in stages, of course, to a place where I really don't care a lot about how I'm being perceived as long as my intention is pure and genuine and I'm exclusively focused on helping others. If I am really genuinely interested in your problem and understanding you and your problem better than maybe you yourself understand it, if I'm that invested, then my technical expertise as such is quite irrelevant. Because I know that I can get up to speed with whatever technology I need to master or to learn to a certain degree in order to do the rest of the work. But the identification of the problem and the understanding of the complexity that resides on your side in terms of issues and intricacies and layers of depth and implications that you yourself might not have understood up to this point. Me helping you understand that in the first place and spending time with you there, irrespective of my expertise, is infinitely more valuable than me giving you my expertise and showcasing you what I'm capable of offering and telling you how great I am about this or that. No one cares, really. No one really cares. All people care is how you can help them. Yes, experience is important. Yes, certifications are important. Yes, relevant expertise, or okay, I understand that. But today, problems are infinitely more complex than they used to be even 15 or 20 years ago. Everyone expects custom solutions. Nothing is known anymore in the purest sense. So it needs proper investigation up front. It needs different kind of reasoning. It needs you being able to convey your skills and articulate the capabilities that you have in a way that those people understand. You have to synthesize complex information that you might have gathered in the last 20 years in a way that facilitates your client's understanding about what you are capable of offering them. And it's your responsibility to make that message clear. It's not their responsibility to decrypt the technical language that you're so familiar and comfortable with. Because as technical people, we do that a lot. Whenever we want to feel good about ourselves, we default to this comfortable place of hiding in the technology, in the concepts that we are so familiar with, and speaking from there, as if that's useful for anyone. Okay, it might establish some dialogue with peers, but in terms of stakeholders, in terms of project sponsors, in terms of business people who are actually investing in you and in the success of the project, you have a moral responsibility and a duty to help them understand, first of all, that you are able to help them and understand and help them understand how your expertise is relevant and applicable to their problem. But before doing that, you have to be able to make them see that you care about helping them at the human level. Before you are the professional, the consultant, the expert, before any of that, you have to be able to establish communication to show that you care genuinely. You cannot fake that, because if you try to fake it, people will know that, right? We are very good at seeing intent. And if you don't care really about solving the problem that someone has, they will know that. So instead of looking at sales as being some sort of dubious activity in which you're trying to force people buy your stuff against their will, see it as caring about people. See it as helping people. See it as a moral obligation, why not, to be the help that they need. Because if you know that you are, help them see that. Help people help themselves through you, through your expertise, through your connections. It's not about you, it's about them. For every single person, it's not about the other, it's about themselves, right? So again, your technical expertise as such is not valuable in itself unless it can be contextualized, unless it can be placed in a context in which it serves a problem, it resolves a problem. But before you do that, you have to allow the person to see your willingness to help. Because if you don't have that channel pre-established, it's like a TCP handshake, if you want, right? You have first to establish connection, to establish communication. If they don't like you because they feel that that you are self-centered and you think only about yourself and you want to show off, if they don't trust you, they will not let you help them, right? Remember the definition of sales that I introduced at the beginning? Sales is a transfer of belief over a bridge of trust. They have first to trust you so that the bridge is established. And then you transfer your belief in your ability to help them over this bridge of trust so that they buy into your belief and they will trust you that you can actually help them, right? You transfer your own belief that you can help them to them over this pre-established bridge of trust, and they will buy whatever you have to sell because of your genuine care of helping them. And it's not about convincing them about anything. It's not about showing them the features of your product or the services or your certifications of all your projects. It could be, again, relevant and useful in more formal processes of onboarding in projects. But what's most important is to have this first connection with someone and make the best you can to show them that you are genuinely interested in solving their problem. And everything from there are just details. And you are very comfortable with going into details. So you're good to go.